Hi, my name is Kiana, and I look like a pretty normal girl, much like you or someone you might know. I have a pretty normal family. My mum and my dad have been together for nearly 24 years, and I have 3 brothers and a sister-in-law. Unfortunately, I'm not what most people would consider normal for my age. I live with dissociative identity disorder, a dissociative disorder that causes many problems in my day-to-day life. Many of you would probably recognize this disorder by its old name, which is multiple personality disorder. What this means is that I'm not one person. My mind is separated into multiple parts to help keep me alive. There's an entire world inside my brain, and each piece carries a shard of who I was meant to be. Although this disorder ultimately saved my life, it also has made living very difficult. I don't want to go into this deep dive of all the trauma and basically share my entire life on the internet. But long story short, I discovered my system about 5 years ago while trying to process the trauma I had experienced as a child, from early childhood sexual assault by someone very close to me and my family for many years of my childhood. I was sexually, verbally, and mentally tormented, and even physically to a small extent. Never enough to cause marks, but smacking a child on the head or throwing glasses at their feet is still abuse. I was also in the middle of trying to process the trauma I'd experienced during high school from bullies, ex-partners, and even people that I once called friends. I'm sharing this story because I need your help. I had a dog named Illyria, and she'd been with me since I was 10 years old, which was around about the time just after I'd finished going through the court system filing charges against the man who molested me as a child. She was meant to be a companion for our beagle Snoopy, and primarily she was my mum's dog, but she quickly became one of my best forms of companionship and safety. Due to the mental health disorders I discovered as a child, like DID and complex post-traumatic stress disorder, I suffer with psychogenic seizures, chronic nightmares, 2 different kinds of insomnia, debilitating migraines, horrific anxiety attacks, and acute paranoia. Illyria was able to pick up on things with no training from me or my family. She started comforting me during panic attacks and nightmares, alerting my parents to seizures and switching personalities. She was already very aged by the time I got the diagnosis of my dissociative disorder, but she still helped with almost every aspect of the day. I spoke about Illyria extensively to my therapists and my doctor, and they thought it was best for me to look into getting a properly trained and qualified assistance dog to help me. Originally, I was very against the idea. I was in extreme denial of Illyria's age, hoping that she would live for as long as I would, and could help me my entire life, despite how unrealistic that was. After months of discussing it, I decided to finally look into it and seriously consider it for my future. Unfortunately, we lost Illyria at the end of April of this year, and I've been struggling more than ever before without her help. I wanted to give myself and my family the rest of 2024 to grieve her and honour her. I'm still in the grieving process, and I'm nowhere near financially where I need to be to acquire an assistance dog. This is where I'm asking for your help. I struggle with a whole list of things that are incredibly hard for me to discuss, but I'm going to share a video with you of me in one of my most vulnerable positions. We didn't know at the time what was happening, but we later found out I was carousel switching or rapid switching, which is what happens when multiple alters try to front at the same time, but this is normally triggered by multiple negative triggers happening at the same time. During this time of my life, I was under an extreme amount of stress and in the middle of trying to process a lot of different trauma, as well as my dad going through cancer treatment and the risk of losing him in the process. I was in and out of consciousness, and I don't really remember the events at all. I remember what I've been told, and I remember what I've seen on this video. My sister-in-law filmed it so we could show the hospital and my GP and my therapist to try to figure out what was happening. This had happened a few times before, but no one could figure it out, not hospitals, not doctors, because there was nothing wrong in a brain scan, there was nothing wrong with a full body scan, and my GP had not seen the events himself, so he recommended recording This particular episode had already been going on for about 10-15 minutes before my mum asked my sister-in-law to record what was happening. Illyria, as my companion and my protector and my dog and all those things, she had to be locked outside as she was guarding me and stopping my mum from being able to get to me, which was a huge risk considering these switches often cause seizures, and although the seizures don't cause damage to my brain, they can still run the risk of me throwing up or choking on my own. You can hear my dad on the phone to the hospital trying to get an ambulance, as this has already been happening for a while, and my mum sat and tried to comfort me and ground me as best as she could, but I was confused. I was in pain with an excruciating headache, and I had no vision. I couldn't see at all.
Wait, where are you going? I'm here. I'm right in front of you. Okay.
Hurts, Mum, hurts.
I'm not going. You right?
It seems to be, yes. No,
You can breathe. It's out your mouth, babe. It's okay.
because she says, yes. Yeah, because she says she can't see. She was turning colour, yes, she was going. What was she going?
She was white with dark under her eyes, but she keeps passing out.
Eyes. Just keeps passing out. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Get up.
Why do you need to get up?
Yeah.
I don't know, I just want to get up.
You can't get up, baby. You keep passing. You can't. You keep passing out. If I let you get up, you're gonna fall. It's okay. You're okay. Hey, breathe. Just breathe.
Yep.
Listen. Now, listen. You're okay. Where are you going?
Where?
Right here.
There's so much going on, I can't.
There's not much going on here. It's just in your head. Listen. Listen, it's all in your head at the moment. Just yes, darling. It's okay. It's okay. Hey.
All day. Thank you very much.
It's okay, babe.
Right, lovely. And it's long for
That was only a small peek into what I and my family experience in my life. I can't shower on my own for risk of this happening, so my mum has to sit in the bathroom with me to make sure I'm okay. And some days I can't even step into the shower because it's too traumatizing. You can read more on my story at my GoFundMe that's in the description. But more than anything, if you could please share my story and help me get the donations I need to get started on this journey. I also have 2 small businesses that I run from home that I'm using to try to put some of the profits made from these businesses towards an assistance dog. My family are trying to help me financially as well, and I am putting my own money aside that I can get together from multiple different ways of earning money from home. But the first month alone could cost me thousands in adoption fees, vet bills, training, everything a new puppy requires. Any help would be greatly appreciated. So if you could help share my story and help me and my family take this next step in my healing journey and help me get back some of the independence I lost. I will be posting updates when I get an assistance dog on my YouTube, and I'm considering making a Facebook page and I will be continuing to share my journey as time goes on my blog, which I'll also leave in the description down below. But really, anything will help. Take care, everyone. Thank you.